In today's episode, we will be discussing the Yankees starting lineup and starting rotation for next season based on whether they re-sign or if they do not re-sign Juan Soto. Obviously, these are just our predictions, nothing set in stone yet, but we have some great predictions coming for you guys, so I would stick around and watch this episode. As always, it's myself, Chris, Robert over here. Robert, how you been holding up, man? I mean, it's the off season now. There's no baseball. It kind of sucks, honestly.
Yeah, Chris, we're getting through it here. Opening day's gonna be here before we know it. But we do got some bright news. Luis Heel is your AL Rookie of the Year. With a give him a round of applause.
Well deserved.
15 wins, 3.50 ERA, 171 strikeouts with a 1.19 WHIP, and he just had a solid season. What are your thoughts about Luis Heel?
I mean, yeah, man, this guy stepped up. I mean, he wasn't even supposed to be on the opening day roster. It was between him and a bunch of other guys like Will Warren and all of them in spring training. And Luis Seal kind of got lucky, honestly, that Garrett Cole got injured, and he proved himself in spring training and earned himself the job. And boy, did he take advantage of it. Through the first month or two of this season, people had this guy in Cy Young conversations,
Yeah,
and I think he was the most deserving rookie of the year. Shout out to Wells. Shout out to Calzer on the Orioles. He had a good season, but I think Heel deserved it above all of them. He was pretty consistent the whole season, besides a couple rocky starts. But if this guy can find some control next year, I really think he's going to be deadly. Got
yeah,
any final thoughts?
especially with him coming off. I think he came off Tommy John, so
Yeah.
huge comeback season for him. And then I think looking at Austin Wells' point of view, I think the World Series kind of costed him, which I
Yeah.
don't know if the writers really look at that, but he really struggled. And so I think with that being said, let's get right into Juan Soto.
Lineups with Juan Soto. So I'll give my lineup first. This is my personal opinion, so no judging in the comments or anything. So I believe that if the Yankees do keep Juan Soto, so they re-sign Juan Soto, which I am praying to everything, every god above that they will do. This is what I believe our lineup will be next season. Leading off at third base, Jazz Chisholm Jr. Jazz led off for the Marlins. We no longer are going to have Gleyber Torres. I think Jazz can be our leadoff guy. Batting second, the generational. Don't got to say much more. Batting third, the captain. Once again, don't got to say much more. Batting cleanup, I got Austin Wells. Like we said, he struggled in the postseason, but this guy is a damn good hitter, and we all know it. Got to get him back up there, get his confidence back up. Batting fifth, my first new addition, Christian Walker. Christian Walker is going to be our first baseman next year, and I honestly want him close to as much as I want Juan Soto. This guy is a damn good baseball player, coming off a little bit of an injured season, but the season before that, 2023, guy was incredible. Batting sixth, I have our designated hitter, Mr. Giancarlo Stanton. Seventh, I got the kid Anthony Volpe. Batting eighth, playing left field, I got Jason Dominguez. And batting ninth, a little bit. This might come as a little bit of a shocker. I have Caleb Durbin. Is that his name? Is that how you say it? Durbin?
Yeah, Durbin.
Caleb Durbin from the minor leagues. I really think Caleb Durbin is gonna win the second base job. I think it's gonna come down to spring training, kind of like Volpe's did a couple years ago. But I really think that he has the tools. He doesn't really have much competition. I don't think so, at least. Going back to Christian Walker, I just want to share his stats real quick from last season. Christian Walker last season hit 251 in 130 games. He had 120 hits, 26 home runs, 84 RBIs. So this guy's just a good power hitter to have in the top of the lineup, and I think he could really help balance our lineup out a little bit more. So with all that being said, Robert, what is your lineup with Juan Soto if the Yankees keep Juan Soto?
If the Yankees sign Juan Soto, leading off, playing second base, I have Jazz Chisholm Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Right field, Juan Soto. Welcome back, buddy. In left field, I got Aaron Judge, which we'll talk about here.
Okay.
Behind the plate, I got Austin Wells cleaning up. DH, I got the playoff legend, Giancarlo Stanton, hitting behind Austin Wells. One of my newer additions playing third base is Ryan McMahon
Ooh.
from the Colorado Rockies that they trade for him. I really, the Yankees have really been interested in him. I think the past couple of years they've always
Yeah.
checked in on him. Last trade deadline, he was told that he wasn't being traded at all. So After him, I have Carlos Santana playing first base. Jason Dominguez center field. Anthony Volpe shortstop. And let me just reiterate some of my points here. With Ryan McMahon, last year 153 games played, 242 average, 20 home runs, 65 RBIs. The reason why I think he'd provide much value to the Yankees in a trade playing third is last year he was first among NL third baseman with a +4 run differential. Defensive runs saved, he was third. And then in assist, he was right up on the top of the list again. So his defense is Gold Glove caliber defense. And then my reasoning for Carlos Santana is I think with them bringing back Juan Soto, I think they might stay away from Christian Walker. And I think they'll pull a Yankee move where they get somebody much lower price and
A veteran.
a veteran. And he really hit lefties last season, which the Yankees struggled. And 150 games played, he had a 238 average, 23 home runs, 71 RBIs. And like I said, versus lefties, he had a 286 average, 12 home runs, 29 RBIs. So provide some balance in the lineup. And I don't know, I just think he'd be a good addition.
I like that. Before we jump into our lineups without Soto, I just quickly want to jump on something real quick. Um, I have the Yankees trading for, if we keep Juan Soto, I have us trading for Camilo Doval from the San Francisco Giants. I think this guy would make Matt Blake the happiest man in the world. He throws a slider, a sinker, and a cutter, and his arm slot is like from down here, and he throws 100. Matt Blake could have a field day with this guy, and he's coming off a kind of rough season for the Giants, so I really think that we could get him at a low price, honestly. And he's been really good for the past couple of years, but this season was just not it for him. And I think if we can get him at a low price, that is a steal because this guy he obviously has the stuff to be good. He's been good before. Um, where is it? Like in 2022 and 2023, he had a sub 3 ERA. He had a 2.53 and a 2.93, but this past season he had a 4.88. That's uncharacteristic of him. So if we can get him over here and have him have a 3 ERA, be more than happy with that. But now hopping into our lineups without Juan Soto. My lineup without Juan Soto. My leadoff hitter, once again, Mr. Jazz Chisholm Jr., playing third base. Batting second, I have my first baseman, Christian Walker. Can you tell I like Christian Walker? Batting third, have the captain, Aaron Judge. Batting cleanup, I got Austin Wells. Batting fifth, I got a new addition, Teoscar Hernandez. I think, and it's been said on, like, per MLB reporters, the Yankees are interested in Teoscar if they don't get Soto. And when the Yankees are interested in somebody, they can get him. The Dodgers, I mean, they would like to have him back, but it's not a live or die situation for them. They got plenty of other guys. Teoscar's stats from last season, he hit 272 last year. He had 32 doubles, 33 home runs, 99 RBIs, and he played in 154 games. I mean, this guy, he's really good coming off a home run derby, coming off a World Series title. And I think it'd be nice to have him in, I would put him in left field in my lineup as you see. So then Judge could play right field, which isn't as hard on his legs as he gets a little bit older, and then put my center fielder, who I'll get to soon. After Teoscar, I got Giancarlo Stanton DH. Then I got Anthony Volpe shortstop. Batting eighth, we got just Jason Dominguez in center field. And then rounding out the lineup at 9, I got Caleb Durbin again. I have a lot of faith in Caleb Durbin. I don't think the Yankees, there's not many good second basemen really. So I think that in typical Yankee fashion, they're going to stick with who they got. And yeah, it's going to suck losing Glaber, but if this kid can have a good spring training like Volpe did in his first season and get that call up and get his confidence going a little bit in spring training, I think he can have a really good season for us. But yeah, Robert, what is your lineup if the Yankees unfortunately do not re-sign Juan Soto?
So this reality, we really don't want to come true here, but leading off again, I got Jazz playing third. In my previous prediction, with Soto, I had him playing second. So I have him going over to the corner, playing third base. Right field, Aaron Judge. Uh, if we don't end up signing Soto, I think the Yankees will be really interested in this guy, Pete Alonso, over at first base. Why
Mm,
not spend some money,
I like
take some
that.
of that cash, and spread it around, give some to Pete. And I really do think if Juan Soto leaves the Yankees, it's probably gonna be for the Mets. So
Yeah.
after him, I got Austin Wells hitting fourth as your catcher. Left field, I got Teoscar Hernandez, who I think they
Mm-hmm.
can go out and sign without signing Soto.
Yeah.
Chris already gave the stats on him, but obviously a very solid player. Has played in the AL East before, and at the end of the day, the Yankees could probably go out and throw some more money at him over the Dodgers as the Dodgers look elsewhere on
Oh
their
yeah.
team. Next up, I got Giancarlo Stanton as your DH. Um, in a big trade, I got Luis Robert coming over to the New York Yankees from the Chicago White Sox. 100 games played last year, 224 average, 14 home runs, 35 RBIs. That's a 6.57 OPS. He was initially when he was a prospect and coming through the system and playing. He's played a little rough the past couple of years, but the years before that, he was known as the Dominican Mike Trout. The guy, when he's healthy, he's a 5-star player. He can hit for power. He can hit for or run for speed. He provides solid defense in the outfield. So why not go out and try to get him from the White Sox? It might take like Spencer Jones, but at this point, it's either you're gonna have Spencer Jones or Jason Dominguez. I don't see both of them being out in the outfield, but
Mm-hmm.
possibly without Soto, who knows? After Luis Robert, I got Jorge Polanco, second baseman, formerly played for the Twins, I believe. Pretty
Mariners
sure the
too, I
Twins.
believe, right?
Yeah, I believe so. And he's just a veteran second baseman. He can provide defense. I don't know. Last year he had a pretty. He didn't really have seasons like he did before. He was on the Mariners, and I think his veteran presence in the lineup could play a big role for the Yankees. Hitting 213 last year, so obviously didn't have the season that he wanted to have with 16 home runs and 45 RBIs.
Sounds like
But
the
like,
Mariners.
yeah, exactly. But bringing somebody over that has shown really good potential in the league, and the Mariners, their stadium has kind of held hitters to their full potential in the past. So possibly giving him a new environment can help him. And then hitting ninth, I got Anthony Volpe. And one point I want to make about Volpe is, I think it's going to be important for him, with and without Soto, to be hitting ninth or eighth or ninth in the lineup. Last year they tried to rush things, try to get him in the leadoff spot, which
Did
obviously
not
did
work.
not work out. And we saw in the World Series he seemed much more like Anthony Volpe hitting down in the
Hmm.
lineup. So
He's just gotta embrace his role.
he's gotta. And I also wanted to mention Caleb Durbin too. I had him in my thoughts and I had him written down as a possible second baseman. I really think that he'll be fighting in spring training, but I think it's all going to depend on what they do with. So this is why this is so tricky.
Yeah.
But he's a solid player, and if he's not in the lineup opening day, I think you can definitely see him later in the year being called up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it um yeah, I think that's it for the hitting wise. So now we'll head on to our pitching rotations with and without Soto. So before I head into my pitching rotation, if they keep Juan Soto, I just want to make some quick notes on who I think the Yankees will cut before the season. I have them cutting, unfortunately, Tim Meza. Shout out Tim Meza. Trent Grisham. Shout out Trent Grisham. DJ LeMahieu. That one hurts, but it's got to be done. And John Birdie. This is an interesting one. I might get some hate for this, but I feel like they should cut John Birdie because this guy had like two hip flexor injuries, and his game is based off of speed. I don't see that translating very well. He's what, like, I don't know how old he is off the top of my head, but I know he's getting old. And if you're relying on speed, you're getting old. He's 34 years old. If you're relying on speed, you're getting old. You're having hip injuries. I just do not see that as a recipe for success. We got more speed guys. I don't think that's a huge concern for the Yankees, honestly. So yeah, I think John Birdie will be cut. Unfortunately, he had some nice plays for us, some nice hits, but Yeah, unfortunately, I do think he will be cut.
Um,
Now heading into my rotation, if the Yankees keep Soto, this is in no specific order. This is just kind of how they came to my head. Number one spot, Garrett Cole. I have Carlos Rodon. I have Luis Heel in there, Rookie of the Year. I have I have a question mark next to Nestor Cortez's name because I think that fifth starter could be any one of him, Stroman, and Clark Schmidt. I think this is my opinion. I think two of them get traded. Crazy, right? I think two of them get traded. I don't think that we don't need all three of them. It's a waste of spots. Stroman is taking up a lot of money. Stroman, I love you, man. If you're the one that stays, I will be happy. But you are taking a lot of money from us. So if we can get trade Stroman, trade Schmidt, and keep Nestor, we get rid of a lot of money. We can trade for some other pieces, some bullpen pieces, whatever it may be. And then for my fifth starter, who's my number four starter on my chart, but I have the Yankees signing Nathan Eovaldi. If you guys tuned into the last episode, I'd said that I think Nathan Eovaldi is going to the Yankees, and that stands true today. I still think he will be a New York Yankee. I think they will get him for fairly cheap. Guy throws gas, been in the league forever, and I just think he would really help us. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got. Robert, what is your pitching rotation if the Yankees keep Juan Soto?
if the Yankees keep Juan Soto, I have Garrett Cole as your ace, Carlos Rodon, Luis Heel, the Rookie of the Year, Clark Schmidt, he's going to be staying on the team. I don't really think that they're going to be looking to trade Clark Schmidt here. This is where me and Chris have some disagreement.
It's okay.
Obviously, he's on still a fairly low contract. For the 2025 season, he's on a 1 year, $5 million deal. So I think, I don't know, I'd be surprised if they trade him. They've already, if you remember the past season when they were looking to trade for Juan Soto, it was Clark Schmidt or Michael King. They ended up getting rid of Michael King. I don't see them getting rid of Clark Schmidt. He's still really young, has really good potential, and has really good stuff. And then fifth in the rotation, I have Walker Buehler. I think the Yankees could sign him, and I don't think he's really going to be an expensive deal. He's a risky signing, coming off of 2 Tommy John surgeries, but he really proved himself in the playoffs and in the World Series. He only pitched 16 games in 2024, and Walker Buehler has his career in the World Series is 2-0 with a .47 ERA. So the guy can pitch when the time comes.
God.
And I think that if the Yankees could sign him, he could go back to the Cy Young form that he is supposed to be developed into before his injuries.
Okay.
If they're going to be trading anything or anybody, it's like you said, Stroman or Nestor. I think they'll be shopping around. They tried to shop Nestor last trade deadline. And I think they could trade for him for like some type of reliever in a bullpen. I'm not sure if teams will really be interested in him anymore with his elbow problems that he had last season. But he can still provide value to any type of team out there. And I really don't see him having a big role in the Yankees this year. And then Stroman, depending on who they sign, what they do, he can always play as a long man in the bullpen. But paying $20 million, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Wish it was $20, but $20
I
million
wish.
in the bullpen for somebody to be a long man, I don't see that happening. So maybe find a trade for Stroman, or keep him in the fifth slot in the rotation.
Stroman is on a 2 year, $37 million, and it came with a $1
Yeah.
million signing bonus. So he's being paid $18 million a year. So yeah,
Exactly.
too much money for a guy that didn't pitch once in the postseason and pitched like not at all in the last couple weeks of the season. He pitched that one blowout game we had against Seattle, and that was it. Just
Yeah, that's way too much.
I love
money on the
Stroman.
books.
He's the coolest guy ever, but we need
Same.
ball players.
Same with some of the cuts that you're mentioning. There's so much money on the bench,
I know.
and I don't think they'll. My opinion is that they'll look to trade Grisham and probably cut LeMahieu, but
You know who else I could see them looking to trade is Jose Trevino. Honestly, we
Yeah.
got Carlos. Is it Navarez? Something. Carlos Navarez.
Navarez,
He's
Carlos
he's
Navarez.
he's right down in the minor leagues. He came up when Trevino was injured. He had a couple hits, couple good games. I don't. Trevino's getting old. He doesn't have a great arm. Can't hit as good as he used to. Wells is our
Yeah,
catcher of the future,
the only
as far
the
as I
only
see it.
thing about that is who's our third catcher if one of them goes down. The Yankees don't really have a deep system in catching. You could make the case that what's his name? First baseman. I'm choking right now.
Ben Rice. Ben
Ben
Rice.
Rice. Yeah, Ben Rice.
Ben Rice.
You could make the case that he goes back to the catcher position, but I don't see that happening. Or
Yeah, I don't
I don't
know.
know.
We'll see. Now heading on to our pitching rotations without Juan Soto. So in my rotation, if the Yankees do not keep Juan Soto, and I'm gonna say the rotation, and then I'm gonna get into it. Okay. Let me just pull this up. So my rotation would be Garrett Cole, Luis Heel, Carlos Rodon, Sean Manaea, and one of either Clark, Nestor, or Stroman. So Sean Manaea, this guy shoved for the Mets. If we could get him, I would be very happy. This season for the Mets, Manaea pitched to a 12-6 record with a 3.47 ERA. That's 32 games started, 181 and two-thirds innings, 184 strikeouts, and a 1.08 whip. This guy is a baller. He's a lefty. He's cool. He's got that funky windup, kind of Chris Sale-esque. And this guy would be great. And I think we could get him for kind of cheap too. I don't think it would cost as much as like a Jack Flaherty or Max Fried would. And I think he has the potential to be just as good as those guys. And also, in this scenario, I would have the Yankees trading for Ryan Helsley. Helsley?
Hesley.
Ryan Helsley from the St. Louis Cardinals. Just a little mock trade, nothing crazy. I don't know. I said Nestor and maybe like it's going to have to be one of our top 10 or 15 prospects. So I said Chase Hampton, who's a pitcher in the Yankee system. I said maybe him and Nestor for Helsley. I mean, Helsley's a dog. This guy is an incredible closer. If we have him and we have the Weave dog and we have Tim Hill, oh my God, that's unstoppable. If the Yankees are not able to get Helsley, I also like Tanner Scott. I like Devin Williams. I think those are all just flamethrowers that can get you quick innings. And you know what they all have in common that we don't have? They're strikeout pitchers. We need strikeout guys. Yes, Tim Hill's great. He gets ground balls. But you can't always have guys that get ground balls. You need a strikeout every now and then. And that honestly kind of screwed the Yankees over sometimes, I believe, this season. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I just want to make some points about those trades. I think out of all of them, maybe Hesley would be the most realistic. I think he's on the last year of his contract, so it'd just be a rental, I'm pretty sure.
okay.
And then for Devin Williams, I think he's next in line as the Yankees should target him because he's really, really good.
Oh, yeah. He's got that changeup.
Yeah, and the Brewers, I don't know if they're looking for starting pitching, maybe throw Stroman or, like you said, Nestor into a deal with a top 10 and maybe one other guy prospect.
I think I saw this on Twitter or Instagram that someone made a mock trade with the Yankees and the Phillies, and it included Stroman and Spencer Jones and some other prospects going to the Phillies for Alec Boehm and who's the lefty they have? Matt Strom, is that his name? It was for them. I don't think the Phillies would do that. The Phillies love Alec Boehm. They
love
the city
Strom.
loves him. Yeah, I don't think they'd give up. And they both got long hair and long beards, so that would not work out. You gotta get the razors out, boys. All right, I think that's it for mine. So, Robert, what is your starting rotation without Juan Soto?
So without Juan Soto, I have Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon, Luis Heel. I had the Yankees signing Jack Flaherty, who they were very, very interested in the last trade deadline. So close that the only thing that failed that trade was his physical.
Yeah.
So he had a 3.17 ERA. That's in 28 games. 162 innings pitched, so decent. And obviously had a solid season and had a good World Series. And then hitting fifth, I have Walker Buehler.
You mean pitching?
Excuse me. Pitching fifth, you're making me laugh here, Chris. Pitching fifth, I have Walker Buehler. Who obviously we've already given his stats, but I think that'd be a good fit for the Yankees. They're gonna have more money off the books if they don't have Juan Soto. So getting somebody like Jack Flaherty, one of the top guys, I could see as a realistic possibility.
Yeah, I didn't have Walker Buehler in any of my rotations, but I honestly really like that signing. Like you said, this guy is incredible in the postseason, and if he can just be like give us a 3.5 ERA in the regular season, I'll be more than happy if he can have a like a 0 ERA in the postseason. I'll be more than happy with that. But again, this is all based on if we get Soto or not. This lineup will be so much different if we, you know, like obviously we want Soto, but at the same time, I am kind of interested to see what the lineup would look like if we don't get Soto. Like, will Hal and Brian go out and spend all that money? Because if they don't, they might get some backlash.
If they don't sign Soto, they're gonna get some backlash.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be tough.
But
What
I will
what you gonna say?
understand if they don't sign Soto if it gets to some crazy number.
Yeah, like if the Mets offer him like over 700, no, that's
Because
not
at the end of the day, the Yankees organization is a business where Steve
exactly.
Cohen just has unlimited money from whatever career he came
Printing
into.
it in his
So
basement, like you said last episode.
exactly.
If you guys haven't seen last episode, check in. It was a great episode. It was our free agent predictions. Go watch that, Bronx Banter. Um, Robert, do you have anything else before I go into the couple of questions that we have from our Instagram page?
No, I think that's it. I mean, I think we made some pretty realistic predictions, and
Yeah.
yeah. So let's get
Let
into
us
the
know in the
questions.
comments what your guys' lineup prediction or starting pitching rotation is. And we'll get into the bullpen once it gets closer to the season. The bullpen is just so unpredictable. We had no clue even where to begin for that. So we just thought it'd be better to do that closer to the season. But as you guys know, we will have weekly videos up and there'll always be a new topic. We try to keep you guys as entertained as we possibly can through the boring off season, through football and basketball season. Man, I just want it to be baseball season again. That's what everyone here is wishing for. Heading on to our Instagram account where I asked you guys to leave your free agency or off-season bold predictions. Follow us on Instagram, Bronx_banter, for a chance to be in the episode like this. Why wouldn't you want to be in the episode? So, first question. Man, this guy's our number one fan. We
Number
know
one
who it
fan.
is. Nico, number one fan. He asks, Robert, this is a question for you specifically. He asks you, is there a world where the Yankees miss out on all the top free agents? He didn't specify, so you and me, let's think of the top three. So Soto, 100%.
Did he say
Soto,
top free?
top free agents.
or top
Top
three?
free agent. Top free agents. But he
Okay.
didn't say how many, so I thought we should do a top three.
All right, sure. Juan
So Soto
Corbin Burns,
and who else?
maybe
Pete Alonso?
Pete Alonso.
Okay, so do you think there's a world where the Yankees miss out on all three of those guys?
Uh, no, I don't because I think that they're re-signing Juan Soto, and at the end of the day, if they don't, they've always been looking for a first base upgrade since Mark Teixeira.
Yeah.
Nobody else has produced like he did in this meantime. So if not, I really think they'll push hard for Pete Alonso because there's no way that the Mets signed both Soto and Pete Alonso.
I agree. I think the Yankees they're getting Juan Soto, because if they don't, I will be very upset. I think all of Yankee Universe will be very upset. You can't give us a World Series loss and then not give us back Juan Soto. That's messed up. You can't do that to us.
At the end of the day, it's either Juan. At the end of the day, Juan Soto is staying in New York. It's either going to be in the Queens or the Bronx.
Bronx. You know you like the Bronx Soto. Come on, man. You love the bleacher creatures chanting your name, man. His little thing that he does.
The Dominican crowd and the Bronx.
Oh
is
my
insane.
God, man! You're not gonna get that in
It's pretty much
Queens, man.
It's pretty much the Dominican Republic in the
It
Bronx.
basically is. Like you're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get that type of atmosphere in City Field. City Field's weird. They got Grimace and all these weird people. No one likes City Field. I
They
don't
got
like
the
the Mets.
Rizzler doing all that BS.
Oh my God, dude! I hate the Mets, dude. They're so weird. They just as we were filming this, they signed Jose Siri to a deal. Oh, scary, Jose Siri. Oh shit.
Jose Siri.
What are we gonna do? Last question, also sent in by Nico. I mean, this guy's out of his mind
Shout
right
out
now.
Nico. Maybe in a future episode we should have him on.
We will. We will get Nico on the podcast for you guys. He asked me at Chris, who do the Yankees add to that rotation? Nico, to answer your question, I don't think they're going to add too much. It all depends if we keep or if we do not keep Juan Soto. If we do keep Juan Soto, I think they're not going to add as much to the starting rotation. And if they lose Juan Soto, I think I could see a couple additions. Like you said, Walker Buehler. I said Evaldi, Jack Flaherty, someone along those lines. Definitely not like a Roki Sasaki or a Corbin Burns. Those guys are just
Unless
we
they
don't.
specifically want to come to the Bronx.
Yeah, like I was watching a clip from Talking Yanks today. Shout out Talking Yanks. Jimmy, Jake, love you guys. We have you on the podcast sometime if you want to come on. We're always
Yeah,
welcome.
for sure.
What was I gonna say? What was I talking about?
Pretty much, they were saying that it's all
Oh
depending.
yeah,
Nobody knows what he wants or what
yeah.
his personality is. They don't know if he wants to go out west. They don't know if he wants to sign. He has always been born in the pinstripes. They don't know
Yeah.
if they want if he wants to be with Suzuki or whatever his name is in Chicago. Nobody
Suzuki.
knows what he wants, and at the end of the day, it's gonna come down to what he wants. And like what me and Chris were saying, maybe he doesn't want to be the star. Maybe he wants to be the star.
Nobody knows this guy really. I mean, it's all gonna. I don't know. It's just gonna happen, and there's nothing we can do about it. But I know this guy's gonna be incredible in the MLB because he's better than Yamamoto was when he came over, and we thought he was like the. He got paid like the most a pitcher's ever gotten paid, and I can imagine what Sasaki's gonna get. Or he could get a deal like Otani has, where he only gets so much a year, but it helps them get more guys. I don't know what the Dodgers are gonna
Nobody
do.
knows.
Robert, any final thoughts before I send us off?
No, I mean, it's a good episode. We'll have more episodes coming out soon. And we just gotta wait and see.
Yeah. Thank you everybody for watching this video. Make sure you guys like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share this video with all your friends, share it with your family. At Thanksgiving, share it with your family. Tell your family about Bronx Banter. Make sure you guys like, subscribe. I already said that. Share the video. Make sure you guys turn on post notifications so you know when our new videos are coming out. We try to have a schedule, but sometimes it varies depending on how our schedules look. We are very busy people. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Leave your Yankee predictions down below.
Follow our
And
Instagram.
Yep. Oh, I almost forgot. Follow our Instagram, Bronx_banter. Keep an eye on our stories for a chance to be in the video like Nico is. Number one fan, Nico. Shout out Nico again,
Shout out,
man.
Nico.
I mean, what a guy. But yeah, we will see you guys in the next episode. And as always, let's go Yankees.
Go Yankees.